या पर आमर अच्छी प्लांट रिप्रोडक्शन। ओके, ये सब जुआड़े अच्छा पढ़े आस जल्दी जल्दी स्टार्ट करिया। ओके, प्लांट रिप्रोडक्शन एवं आमर बॉटनी क्लास हम। ओके, स्टार्ट करिया चलो। सीड डेवलप्स फ्रॉम where? Seed develops from ovary, embryo, ovule, embryo sac. Seed develops from ovule. Okay, seed develops from ovule. Next question jiba. Which one of the following is surrounded by a callose wall? Which one of the following is surrounded by a callose wall? Male gamete, microspore mother cell, pollen grain, egg. Which one of the following is surrounded by a callose wall? Microspore mother cell is surrounded by a callose wall. Okay, microspore mother cell surrounded by a callose wall. Next question jiba on this देखो. What is the function of germ pore? Germ pore रो function कौन? Initiation of pollen tube, absorption of water for seed germination, emergence of radicle, release of male gametes. What is the function of germ pore? Germ pore रो function कौन? Initiation of pollen tube है। germ pore रो function होची initiation of pollen tube. ओके, तापर क्वेश्चन कौन दीजिए? Apomixis is a type of reproduction that results in the development of a new organism without fusion of gametes. New organism from fusion products of gametes, embryo from endosperm, embryo from nucleus. Kura Apomixis is a type of reproduction that results in the development of new organisms without a gametes. Okay, ये have answer. Apomixis is a type of reproduction that results in the development of new organisms without fusion of gametes. Apomixis is a type of reproduction that results in the development of new organism without fusion of gametes. Okay, next question jiba. Fertilization in which male gametes are carried through pollen tube is known as what? Is known as siphonogamy. Okay, fertilization in which male gametes are carried through pollen tube is known as siphonogamy. Fertilization in which male gametes are carried through pollen tube is known as siphonogamy. Fusion of two dissimilar gametes is known as fertilization. Okay, fertilization in which male gametes are carried through pollen tube is known as siphonogamy. Okay, fusion of two dissimilar gametes of fusion रे कौन कह जाए? fertilization कह जाए. Ovule is attached to the placenta of ovary wall by which? Ovule is attached to the placenta of ovary wall by ऑप्शन कौन दीजिए? ऑप्शन दीजिए फूनिकल, राफे, हिलुम, टेस्टा. पूरा ओव्यूल इज attached to the placenta of ovary wall by कौन होगा? फूनिकल है. फूनिकल. Ovule is attached to the placenta of ovary wall by funicle. Okay, ovule is attached to the placenta of ovary wall by funicle. Next question is male gametes in angiosperms are formed by the division of generative cells, microspore mother cells, vegetative cell. Male gametes in angiosperm are formed by the division of generative cells. Okay, male gametes in angiosperm are formed by the division of generative cell. Male gametes in angiosperms are formed by the division of generative cells. Male gametes in angiosperms are formed by the division of generative cells. Next question is the fusion of the male reproductive nucleus and the female reproductive nucleus is called fertilization. Okay, fertilization. A option A. The fusion of male reproductive nucleus and the female reproductive nucleus is called fertilization. The fusion of male reproductive nucleus and female reproductive nucleus is called fertilization. Embryo sac is found in where? Embryo sac is found in ovule, endosperm, seed, embryo. Where embryo sac is found in ovule. Okay, embryo sac is found in ovule. Embryo sac is found in ovule. Embryo sac is found in ovule. Next question jiba. The zygote develop into embryo, stigma, gametes, endosperm. Whatever. The zygote develops into embryo. Okay, the zygote develops into embryo. The zygote develops into embryo. The transfer of pollen grains from the another to the stigma of flower is known as what? Pollination. Okay, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of flower is known as pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther and from anther to the stigma of flower is known as pollination. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of flower is known as pollination. Double fertilization is a characteristics of angiosperms, gymnosperms, pteridophytes, bryophytes. Whatever. Double fertilization is a characteristic of angiosperm. Okay, double fertilization is a characteristics of angiosperm. Double fertilization is a characteristics of angiosperm. The fruits which develops without fertilization are called true fruits, false fruit, parthenocarpic fruits, none of these. Could have parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, the fruits which develops without fertilization. The fruits which develops without fertilization is called parthenocarpic fruits. The fruits which develops without fertilization is called parthenocarpic fruits. Hala. The fruits which develops without fertilization is called parthenocarpic fruits. The endosperms in angiospermic plants develops from zygote, antipodal cells, polar nucleus, secondary nucleus. Whatever. The endosperm in angiospermic plants develops from secondary nucleus. Okay. The endosperm in angiospermic plants develops from secondary nucleus. The endosperm in angiospermic plants develops from secondary nucleus. The endosperm in angiospermic plants develops from secondary nucleus. Okay. Next question कौन दीजिए देखिए. The female gametophyte in angiosperm is called as what? The female gametophyte in angiosperm is called as embryo sac. Okay. The female gametophyte in angiosperm is called as embryo sac. The female gametophyte in angiosperm is called as embryo sac. Next question कौन दीजिए देखिए. Seedless fruits are also called as कौन हब? Parthenocarpic fruits, freshly fruits, parthenogenetic fruits, none of these. Seedless fruit ଆମର ଏ ଉପରେ ଗୋଟେ क्वेश्चन ଦେଇଥିଲା the fruit which develops without fertilization is called parthenocarpic fruits. Okay. Seedless fruits सेगुड़ा सब हम seedless fruits है. Seedless fruits are also called as parthenocarpic fruits. Okay. Seedless fruits are also called as parthenocarpic fruits. Seedless fruits are also called as parthenocarpic fruits. The embryo sac of a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization is 8 cell, 7 cell, 6 cell, 3 cell. Could have the embryo sac of a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization is embryo sac टा केते थिबो 7 celled. Okay. The embryo sac of a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization is called 7 celled. The embryo sac of a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization is 7 celled. The embryo sac of a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization is 7 celled. Embryo sac टा होची 7 celled. केते बेले a typical dicot plant at the time of fertilization. Dicot plant रो जो embryo sac टा केते 7 celled. केते बेले ना जते बेले fertilization time होता है. Okay. Next question कौन दीजिए देखिए. In double fertilization, the male gamete and the secondary molecule give rise to what? Endosperm. Okay. In double fertilization, the male gamete and secondary molecules give rise to endosperm. In double fertilization, the male gamete and secondary nucleus give rise to endosperm. In double fertilization, the male gamete and secondary nucleus give rise to endosperm in double fertilization. Okay. Next question कौन दीजिए? Pollination by air is called what? Is called anemophile, entomophile, hydrophily. None of this. Good. Anemophily. Okay. Pollination by air is called anemophily. Okay. Pollination by air is called anemophily. 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 सरला नेक्स्ट चैप्टर आमर पढ़ा. ओके या परे. ओके बाय.